Next, samurai should keep in their hearts the fact that they only die once. Forgetting this will result in failure. Samurai who forget this one's a little bit tricky for me to understand. Samurai should keep in their hearts the fact that they only die once. Forgetting this will result in failure. And the amplification on this one says, samurai who forget that they can die at any time and in any place could end up in humiliating failure. In other words, throwing your body into the river and relying on fate to determine if you float to the shallows. If you love your life too much, you will always end in failure. So this is what I found interesting about this one. There's a dichotomy here. The dichotomy to me is if you care too much about being alive, then you won't take any risk and you'll be too scared and that's going to be bad. Yeah. So that's we know that one's bad. So we get that one. If you love your life too much, it will always end in failure. Maybe not always, but it's going to definitely play a role. You'll be too cautious. You won't take any risk. You'll be scared. That one's going to be, you'll hesitate. Yeah. So we get that one. The keep in your hearts that you'll only die once. Okay. So that means to me, okay, so you can die at any time. I'm going to make it worth it in my mind.
Make it dope. Yeah.
Make it dope. Okay. And then this whole thing about, okay, let me read it word for word. Throwing your body into the river and relying on fate to determine if you float to the shallows. I don't know. To me, that could be taken two ways. And I think they're both okay. Number one is like, hey, don't just throw, just jump. Don't just jump into the river and let fate decide if you're going to make it or not. No, you prepare and you train and you're ready. The other way it could be taken is, you know what? You can't control everything. You got to go. Jump into the river. And if you're meant to make it, you're going to make it. Either one of those can possibly set your mind at ease. And you've heard me talk about fear. It's in Way of the Warrior Kid, right? Yeah. Way of the Warrior Kid. What happens? You prepare everything you can, but then eventually you got to jump and see if the current takes you to the shallow water again. Yeah. That's the way it's got to be. Yeah. So that's the way I took that one. Yeah. I read a lot into that one.
I think the first one, just because the other one would add kind of additional required explanation. Like,
so you're saying you agree with preparing?
I think I agree with preparing. I think of the two that you just said, the first one I think makes more sense to me that's what he meant.
So you're thinking that he meant to prepare the best of your ability.
Yeah, okay. Exactly right. It's kind of like you only have one life, and if you're gonna die, make it legit. Don't be dying trying to cross the river. You better die doing something big time, kind of thing.
There's one more little addition that I believe that Eric actually added on here. Yeah. This is his note. It says the line about throwing your body into the river and relying on fate to determine if you float in the shallows is very famous. It's not that famous because I Googled it and I couldn't find it. Sure. Now he says, enter battle fully committed and perhaps you will emerge alive at the end. I think that makes some sense. It's for me, prepare the best of your ability. Yeah. Be fully committed, and then don't worry about what the end's going to come because you can't control everything. Yeah. I think we're good.
I think I'll agree.